Welcome to Virginia Outdoors. This week we'll visit one of the most popular roads in America, the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's more than just another road, it's a trip through time. Along the way we'll get off and get some exercise by taking a ride on a mountain bike. Then we'll experience the thrill of hang gliding, and we'll learn about the secret ways of the native trout with some trout fishing in Shenandoah National Park. I hope you'll join us. Blue Ridge Parkway runs 470 miles beginning at the Shenandoah National Park at milepost 1 and running all the way south to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It's not the type of highway that you take just to get from place to place. It's a scenic highway, and there are dozens of stops along the way where you can fish and swim, hike, bicycle, camp, and really just have a generally wonderful time. Here at the Mountain Farm, you can really get a flavor for what the pioneer life must have been like when they first settled the Blue Ridge Mountains. Here you can see the way that the settlers built their homes from the natural materials that they found on the site, hand-split logs and mud daubed in between. And with those materials, they made a variety of buildings. There's a bear-proof pig pen, there's a stable, a chicken coop, an apple shed. Just about the only thing missing that would have been here, a couple hundred years ago is probably the whiskey still. But you know, right up behind the home farm here, there's a place called Humpback Rocks, and it's awfully easy to see why they called it Humpback. These mountain rocks go back 800 million years to the time that the lava oozed from the crags that were first forming these mountains. It's time to get back on the road. Let's go bicycling with the Shenandoah Valley Bicycle Club. But they won't be on the road any longer than they have to, because this contingent of the club consists of avid mountain bikers. And mountain bikers try to avoid roads whenever possible.
We can go anywhere from riding deer trails in the national forest to doing pretty much country back roads, which primarily this ride will be today, with some trails maybe thrown in for good measure.
And riding the back roads and trails of Virginia calls for a special kind of bike, one built for durability.
Generally speaking, mountain bike is a shorter bike. It's got knobbier tires. It's got heavy-duty brakes on. It's a heavier built bike overall.
A lot of the adverse conditions that you're going to encounter with a mountain bike, you need more widely spaced gearing. So it's for like the pipe hand size gearing in the back. So kind of helps you out when you hit the heavy-duty grades.
The inside gear, as you can see on my bike here, is a very small ring. And that gives you your wide ratio. You won't find that on a racing bike. You'll find a lot bigger gears. It's almost, you walk as fast as you can ride the bike with that particular gear, but it also can climb right up the side of a mountain almost too with that gear. So that's the wide ratio he's talking about.
Sometimes it takes a quiet ride along a country road just to get to that perfect spot where the terrain will really put the bike to the test.
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like.
Now this is pretty tame stuff if you're looking for thrills, but it does have its rewards, watching the beautiful and diverse Virginia countryside serenely rolling by. This happens to be a section of the George Washington National Forest, near the border of Rockingham and Shenandoah counties.
small group of us get together, and I might be the last one in the group, but they take care of me, and one of them will wait back for me until I can catch up with the rest of the group, or sometimes I can stay with them. And we just all get together and have a good time and look out for each other and enjoy our rides.
But now our group has come to the quintessence of mountain biking, the backcountry trail. And so it's off the roads and into the woods for these intrepid explorers.
You don't see any vehicles, you don't see any people, just have a good time. But these go anywhere. Just whatever you want to do.
I've just been into mountain biking for about a year and a half, 2 years, and it just seems like every time I go out, I'm going on a different route. And it seems like when you get up in the mountains, you can make different loops out of all kinds of different routes, and it seems like you're always going through a new section of road. So it can be a lot of fun, and you get a lot of diversity.
Well, for any type of biking, I strongly recommend the helmet for the first thing. It saves you from pretty serious injury, really. So a helmet and probably gloves to protect your hands too, especially off-road riding. This is more of a mountain type glove here. The fingers come out longer, gives you a little more protection from the brush and stuff.
If you come off the bike, 9 chances out of 10 you'll lead with your hand to break your fall, and the padding in here you can rip your gloves a piece, and that saves your hands from being tore up. I think Rusty can attest to that fact. He used to ride without gloves, and you won't see him without them, I don't think, anymore, because he did come off his bike and got a fairly nasty gash across the palm. And how many stitches did you have?
It's 20 or so.
Yeah, so you want to have some protection when you come off.
Well, I use it for most any kind of bicycle riding. You need some kind of an air pump in case you would happen to have a flat tire, and then just a few wrenches and just enough stuff. I carry just enough stuff to where I think I can get myself back out of the mountains in case something happens.
Well, usually a spandex type shorts are good, and mountain biking, you usually don't get caught in the brush too much. I haven't come home with any holes yet. And these keep bees out. Keep the sweat off of your skin, and the air will evaporate the sweat.
One thing is too, they stretch with your muscles, they move with you, and they're not rubbing against you. And
Remember when you were a kid, one of the supreme cycling joys came after a long, hard uphill climb. You pointed your bicycle down that hill, and away you went. What a feeling. Well, the feeling is still there.
I enjoy this, just the fun of it, just to, go out there and do it. And I just wish we had these bikes a whole lot earlier when I was a little younger.
And you get tired and dirty, but that's part of it, and it's a good way to relax when you get back home.
I get some more mud off too.
Imagine what it would be like. What a blast to ride a bike from the top of these mountains, perhaps from Thunder Ridge over there, which is the highest point on the Blue Ridge Parkway in Virginia, all the way down to the lowest point, which is where the James River cuts through. Traveling across these mountains was really challenging back in the 1700s when the settlers first moved in. And that's probably why George Washington conceived an idea to build a canal where the James River cuts through. He wanted to traverse the Appalachian Mountains with the canal because barges were a very important way to transport staples into the valley and take the grain, such as wheat and things like whiskey and pig iron, back out for sale to the eastern part of the state. But the railroads were developed long before the canal was ever completed, and the canal was obsolete and really was abandoned halfway through its construction. You know, come to think of it, riding a bicycle from the top of Thunder Ridge all the way down to the James River might not be such a hot idea, especially if you had to pedal all the way back up. You can't really hang glide from this point on the Blue Ridge Parkway, but I'll bet it would be a lot more fun to catch an updraft, perhaps on a hang glider, and let the wind